Good afternoon. Welcome to the Crone Zone, Conversations with the Ancients. I'm Priscilla. I'm a Crone, a light worker, and a channel. And this is my friend Heather. But first we wanted to tell you that today is Women's History Month. Starts today. And it's providing the theme is to provide healing and promoting hope. Providing healing and promoting hope is the theme. A tribute to healthcare and frontline workers during pandemic and thousands of ways women throughout world history have provided hope and healing. So let's all participate in Women's History Month.
Cool. Hi, I'm Heather, and I also am a Crone. And I'm a psychic medium, a tarot card reader, and sometimes I see ghosts. But I thought we would start out with another tarot reading. It went from the oracle cards, and we'll use the starseed cards again.
I love those. They're beautiful.
Yeah. And we're going to be talking about what the world needs to do. And
in this crazy time of war.
Crazy time. And so I'm just going to deal 3 cards and see what they have to say. Okay. Our first card is protection, to call back your power. Second card is to play. They want you to have fun and celebrate. I'll move those this way.
Hi, Roger. Hi, Gypsy T. Thanks for joining us today. Oh, that's Ron, not Roger. Hi, Ron. Sorry about that.
And a third card. Sorry, I'm getting used to the camera being where it's at so you can see everything. There we go. Let me move the cards and I can move the other cards. There we go, so you can see them. Together, they're talking about Anne, grandmother of Jesus. Let's see. Okay. On protection, they're talking about call back your power. And we've had that before. And I like the way it's saying celebrate and be happy. And don't be so serious about everything. I mean, it's serious out there, but you've got to let that go because it messes up your energy. And then they also have Anna, grandmother of Jesus, and they're talking about starting up a new thing, a new line that we would follow. Well, in this case, it's starting up new things in the world that will work better for us. So we should be protecting our energy, pulling it back in our soul so that we can go ahead and be who we need to be. We need to have fun while we're doing it. Don't take everything so seriously. And we are starting a new world. We're still tearing down, but we are starting a new world.
Absolutely. So. Lovely cards. Well, you know, today's about channeling, and channeling is something that I do. Actually, I think we all do it. Your intuition is channeling. Your tarot card reading is channeling. So we all have the gift to be able to do that. But channeling's been around as a human experience since the beginning of time. From the Delphi Oracle in Greece to Hinduism and Buddhism. It's connecting ourselves to the higher God energy, the divine, galactic center, God, whatever you want to call. It's our direct channel right to the source. And we all can do it. We just have to learn to listen to our heart and listen to the words that are being told to us. It's actually a spiritual and consciousness transformation. The more you do it, the more you feel in tune with the world, the universe, your friends and family. It brings a lot of love and energy into your life, and it's beautiful. Channeling can vary from automatic writing, like I said, tarot cards, clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, all the clairs, and trance channeling.
Yep. And when we're talking about conscious channeling, I think that's something everybody does. It's when you channel and you're all awake. You are aware of everything going on. So it's everybody does it. A lot of people like EA. She's on
Elizabeth April.
Elizabeth April. She's on
Gaia,
and she's also on
YouTube.
YouTube. Yeah, and she'll be asked a question. She'll shut herself down, listen for a minute, and then give the answer. So she's kind of, she's aware of what she's doing. She can hear everything. So, and they also have trance channeling, and she does both. I only do the conscious one. I can listen and I can hear, but it took me forever to learn to hear. I mean, I had all these ideas. I didn't know there was somebody else talking. I thought it was me.
It's hard to determine which. That was the hardest part for me, is to figure out what was my voice and what was the voice of my higher self or the divine.
Right.
I found out that my voice is usually judgment.
Yeah.
It's usually critical. Whereas anytime you're tapping into the unconditional love of the higher realms, you don't get those kinds of responses. It's always in the highest good of you or the people around you or the planet or Mother Earth. The messages are positive. They're never going to be low vibration. It's all high vibration energy.
The negative ones are your ego trying to tear you down.
Yes, that's what it seems to be to me anyway.
Yeah. And we listen real well to those. But anyway, there are people like Daryl Anka. He does Bashir. I can't say
Bashir.
Thank you. And then Chiron is done by Lee Carroll. And that's where they actually go into a trance. They're totally unaware of what they're saying. And we learned real fast that I need to take notes to whatever she says, because she doesn't remember any of it because she wasn't there. So she has to read back through the notes in order to find out what went on. Or I read them back, whatever happens.
That or we record.
Yeah.
So that's helpful.
Yeah.
But nowadays, it seems like I did the trance channeling early on, and now it's more of the other type.
Yeah. And it's immediate.
It's immediate, yes.
Yeah, whether you like it or not. She could be doing dishes and have a message.
Yes, yes. I don't necessarily have to meditate for hours anymore.
Right. And I was going to ask you, how does channeling make you feel? I can't do it, so you've got to tell me.
It's interesting. I bodily feel different energies when they come to me. Like my deceased husband, David, his is a very warm, loving, almost physical warmth energy that I feel. Other entities, not so much. Some of them are overwhelming. Their energy's so strong and or so heavy, it feels like I'm sinking into the chair. And that's one reason I don't really trance channel so much, is because it's
heavy.
It doesn't feel like me, and I'd kind of rather feel like me. Although it is fun to now and then channel different
others.
people. Channel others, yes, it does. Yeah. But because of the vibration of the universe is love, you always feel, or I always feel like I'm enveloped in love and peace.
Cool.
Yeah.
One of these days, maybe.
Yeah, I'm sure you will. Interacting with spirit is all about frequency as well. And next week we're going to talk about frequency. Because they vibrate at such a higher rate than us 3D humans, they have to lower their vibration a bit, as we have to raise our vibrations to be able to connect with them fully. And sometimes that's not easy. If you're having a rough time in your life and you're depressed or you're worried or things like that, then it's very difficult to connect, because you have to be in your heart space, or I do. I have to be in my heart space and be filled with love to be able to communicate. And the ways you do that are like meditation, journaling, which my journaling actually turned into automatic writing. Not always, but a lot of the times I'm doing automatic writing as I'm journaling. And being in nature, of course, being around the people that you love the most, that bring you joy in your life, all those things help elevate your energy so that you can raise it enough to meet their lowered energy.
Yeah,
does that make
like
sense?
Meeting halfway.
Exactly. Other ways are non-judgment, compassion, gratitude. All those kinds of things raise your frequency. And the things that drop it are judgment and anger and hate and fear, I would say. Yeah?
How did you start?
Well, I got started through plant medicine back in 2018. And it was kind of an intervention with my family, deceased family members, and other galactic guides.
Yeah.
I've never felt such unconditional love, such peace. Makes me teary.
But you felt good.
It was amazing.
That's great. I keep looking forward to my being able to experience
It's
that.
such an incredible experience to feel that kind of love. And the love, my sister Sherry said, I want you to feel just a little bit of what we feel up here for you. And mankind, not just me. The love was so intense, it was almost painful. And she said that is just a fraction of what unconditional love truly feels like on the other side. Sorry.
Wow. That's all right.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah. So how did you prepare to do channeling? What do you do when you do that?
Well, now my go-to is meditation. When I decide I want to channel or ask questions or anything, my go-to is to go outside on my porch, and I have a little space out there where I sit and do meditation, my daily meditations. And they usually come through during my meditation or right after. Sometimes I send them away because I'm in the middle of it and I want to finish, and then they come back. They don't have any trouble coming back.
So they come when you're quiet?
They come when your mind is quiet. They come when your mind is basically empty of all of the thoughts, when you're at peace. And when you meditate, you become kind of one with the universe, right?
I know the first time I heard it, I was trying to quiet my mind and go with the first word I heard.
And that was?
That was the answer.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Also, I have a sacred space where I do my channeling most of the time, unless they, like she says, grab me while I'm at the sink or somewhere else, out in the garden or whatever. But we have a dedicated spot. We also smudge and try to get rid of any vibrations that shouldn't be here, that aren't in our highest good. So we walk through the house with smudging, and
we protect it too.
And send out protective energy, as well as information that says only those with love, unconditional love, and unity consciousness are welcome in our space, and nobody else is allowed to enter. When you open yourself up to the light, you also open yourself up to the darkness. So low energy vibrations may try to, tricksters energies might try to come in, but as long as you have that white light of unconditional love around you, they can't. They just can't. So we keep our house protected with the white light, and we buried orgone pyramids in the corners of our yard. What else do we? Sage.
What kind of pyramids were they?
Orgone.
Oregon.
Orgone.
Oh, that's a stone.
It's a material.
It's a material.
It's a material that helps get rid of certain vibrations.
That's cool.
And that's about all I can tell you about it. I'm not an Oregon person. That
Well,
would be my sister Jan that can tell you about Oregon. Okay. Not me. But nevertheless, I listen to what she says, and that's buried. And actually, psychic attacks have been reduced since we buried the pyramids, and we keep a cloak of invisibility around our house. Yes. My guides instructed us that when you start channeling or communicating with the other side, your light becomes so bright it attracts those that aren't of the light. So
you don't want to do that.
We don't want those kind of energies around. So
those are not
we
fun.
keep the love and the white light around our house. I put it around the car for safety when we leave the house.
It works.
And it seems to work. So, I mean, it's very handy in a lot of different ways.
Yeah. What kind of people or things do you meet?
I've met mermaids from Inner Mars.
Cool.
I've met many Palladians, some Mantis, some Avian. I've interacted with fairies, elves.
Even some dead people.
And even some dead people. Yeah. Most of my deceased family members I've spoken to on one or more occasions, but I'm not really a psychic medium. I don't really spend a lot of time with dead people. It's more my connections to the higher realms, my higher self, my guides, and source energy. When you get information from source energy, you know it's true. You can feel it in your heart. You can feel it in your bones. You know it's not something you made up. It's just the truth, and you know the truth. You feel the truth.
You don't know where it came from. It's there. And like me, I didn't recognize it for a long time.
I didn't either.
No, it's very hard to tell.
I just thought it was
my
ego
idea.
Or something. Yeah, I just thought I was brilliant, I guess.
Now I know how dumb you are.
Archangel Michael is one of my guides, and we always call him in for protection whenever we feel like we need protection.
Right. He's always there.
And his energy is amazing. It's just full of love and strength and big.
Big.
It just feels big. and loving. Very loving.
Cool.
Very intense. But he's definitely one of my guides and helps me a lot.
Yeah.
He does help me a lot.
Do all these people that you've talked to, do they have like one basic idea they're trying to get through to you?
Actually, there's several. Oh. And the first one I'd like to say right now today is because we're dealing with the war between Putin, and what's the country? Ukraine. Sorry. They want us to know to not pay attention to the madness out there. Send love and light, enlightenment, unity consciousness, all those energies to any place that is war-torn, like the Ukraine is right now. That's the best thing we can do for them, and turn off the TVs. They told me to turn off my TV, suggested I turn off my TV several years ago, which we did. And our life has been completely different since we quit watching the news, and
much more relaxed, happier.
Exactly. So, let's see, what else? Oneness is a big one. We're all connected. Every plant, mineral, animal, we're all connected. We all come from exactly the same spot. We're all from source energy. We're all made of love. We're all made of starlight. We're all one. Mm-hmm. And when you think about that, really think about that, that dog you have that you love so much is no different than you. It deserves the same respect and love that you deserve. that little ant out in your yard is doing their job, whatever that may be, and they all have souls. They're all part of the universe. They're all part of the divine.
You should have heard her when she came in from outside. She had been talking to the plants, and she'd never done that before. And she was hilariously funny telling me about them.
I don't really remember that much, except for they were telling me their names. I had never named a plant.
No.
But they do have names, believe it or not.
Yeah, and some of them told you they like where they're at, and some of them told you to move them.
Exactly. They've even told me they prefer a little more sun or a little less sun. So, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I do follow their requests when I hear them. I don't always hear them.
Right.
Another thing they want you to know is everything that you're looking for is within. There's nothing that religion can teach you. There's nothing that the church can teach you. What you need to know is innate within each and every one of us. And you all know it deep inside. You all know you don't need the help of an outside source to tell you who and what you are. And I really love that message. I think that's a beautiful message. They also say the time of awakening is now. It's real. It's here, and we're all starseeds that are a part of this. And our children are starseeds, and my grandchildren are starseeds.
So
and as Crones, it's our job to help our starseed sons and daughters
And grandkids.
and grandkids learn the truth about who they really are.
Yeah.
So I think that's beautiful. Another thing they want you to know is that you're not alone. None of us are alone. We each come here with a multitude of galactic family guides. But because of the law of non-intervention, they can't do anything if you don't ask. So when you need something, ask them. And ask them for a sign. But ask, even if you don't think you're going to get an answer, ask anyway. And then look for synchronicities. Look for little things that might be leading you to an answer. Because they're always with us. And someday you're going to feel them because the veil is getting thinner and thinner every day. And that means that we're closer and closer to our gods every day. Our guides, not our gods. Sorry about that. And there is such a thing as free will. We all have free will to make the choices that we want to make, that we feel is best for ourselves and for the rest of humanity, because we're all brothers and sisters, and we do need to look out for each other.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yep. Soul contract.
At the time of awakening is real, and what they want you to know is that part of your soul contract was to come here, to learn, to educate your soul in whatever is going on at this time on the planet, and
Yep.
that's why we're here.
So what is a soul contract?
A soul contract is an agreement that we entered into before we were born with a whole group of entities that are here to help us on the planet and before we get here. But it's contracts that we list for relationships, relationships, life experiences, and events. All to assist in our soul's evolution in the earthbound experience. So before we're ever born, we know who our parents are going to be. We know when we're going to be born. All these things, we know when we're going to die.
But we just all forget it.
We just forget it all when we're born.
Yeah, well, so we've talked about frequencies and vibrations and soul contracts and how we are all one. And when we need help, all we have to do is ask. And whenever we need help. And you know, it's funny because next week, speaking of frequency
Vibration.
Vibration. Thank you. I couldn't talk. Anyway, speaking of those are our subjects next show.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So maybe you can read some cards, and I'm going to look at the chat and see if we have any
questions.
Yeah, see if we have any questions. And I'll say hi to Livy. Hi, Livy Ann. Nice to see you here. Thanks for joining us.
This deck of cards is also done by Rebecca Campbell, and these are your work your light cards, and they also, where we were asking what we needed to do before, this time I'm going to ask how we're doing. Okay.
If anybody has any questions, be sure and put them in the chat, because it's gone past whatever was there originally, and we can't see anything but 3.
Somebody wanted to know what smudging was. That was one question.
And Livy Ann actually explained it right there in the chat room. Smudging is usually white sage, and you light it, and it's been proven to actually change the vibration in your home or anywhere. It gets rid of mold and bacteria and all kinds of stuff. And I actually have a smudging blog that I did that I will post on our website or something. I haven't quite figured out how to work that one out. But I will post that for anybody that's interested, because when I first started smudging, I thought it was nonsense. I didn't really believe it. But you can actually feel the change in energy in your house when you've done it. It just changes the energy completely, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
And we do it whenever we've had guests, when they leave. If there's somebody's been sick, we'll do it after that. If you're trying to sell a house, smudge that house. Get your energy out of it and let somebody else and clear it for other people. But there's all kinds of different times and places that makes it appropriate. But it definitely changes the frequency of energies in your house.
Okay. And I did draw 3 cards. And
Oops. Card cam.
Okay, I'll just show you regular.
Okay, we're going back to face because card cam
decided to change its mind or move. Anyway, the first card is activated earth. There are places on the earth where you can get more energy. They're like ley lines.
Mm-hmm.
And so we do have those already. So that's doing pretty good. And they say we have all of their love. You've got the love that's needed to continue. And they want everybody to continue giving it. But they also want you to let go of your grip of what's going on and look into yourself for your answers. And look into yourself for what you want to work on. And so they're saying, come on, it's time to wake up. Let's do what we need to do.
Beautiful.
Okay.
That sounds fantastic. All right. I think that's the show for the day. Thank you for joining us, all of you. We're so happy to be here, and we're so happy to have you here with us. Join us next time, and I'm sending you out lots of unconditional love.
Same for me. Unconditional love and
Unity consciousness.
I lost that word. Unity consciousness. I wish you all as much of it as you can handle.
Have a great day, and pray for Serbia as much as you can. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And we'll see